Here's what's been happening lately. 3 things. First, with 1 month left in the state legislative session, state lawmakers near a deal on Chicago area public transit reform. Second, a plan to allow Chicago police to impose a snap curfew on teen takeovers is facing a test. And then lastly, Chicago riders might be in line for refunds as city investigates Uber overcharges. Let's break it all down. Lawmakers are apparently close to a deal to resolve one of Springfield's most hotly contested issues this session: transit reform. Public transportation agencies in Chicagoland, a region with roughly 2/3 of Illinois' population, face a collective $770 million budget gap in the upcoming fiscal year. Heads of the agencies have turned to the state to fill that gap, but lawmakers have consistently said that reform of the agency's government and better oversight are required before addressing funding. If lawmakers don't reach a deal to reform the Northeastern Illinois transit system and introduce a new funding before their May 31st adjournment, transit officials say it will result in significant cuts, which could result in a nightmare scenario, according to Regional Transit Authority spokesperson Tina Fassett-Smith. Now, a proposal that did not go through in Chicago City Council would have allowed Chicago Police Department officials to impose a curfew anywhere inside the city with just 30 minutes notice. And this is in an effort to stop large gatherings of teens. But that measure did not go through because of the unconstitutionality of the measure, as well as the unworkableness of the measure. Now, Chicago Police Superintendent Larry Snelling at the time encouraged Alderman Brian Hopkins of the 2nd Ward, who has regularly demanded that Mayor Brandon Johnson ban teens from downtown after 8 p.m. in recent years, to introduce the measure that would have expanded CPD's power in an attempt to deter teens from gathering in large gatherings during the warm weather months. But Johnson on Monday last week declined to endorse the proposal set to be considered at the City Council Public Safety Committee meeting. Now, the mayor said that we have not seen any substantive evidence that lowering the curfew is going to change anything. And Snelling told reporters that he had concerns that the current proposal would be unworkable. Now, this is according to Larry Snelling. We don't want to put a parent in a position where they take their kids to a particular location, maybe to a movie, and when the movie lets out, there's a curfew that has been imposed, Snelling said. We want to make sure that we have tools in place to prevent these things from happening, but we will do this constitutionally. Now, Hopkins' proposal would have allowed police to declare a curfew in the event of a gathering of 20 or more people in a public space for the purpose of engaging in or is likely to result in criminal conduct. It includes reckless conduct, disorderly conduct, or otherwise presents or causes or is likely to present or cause an unreasonable risk to public health, safety, or welfare. The snap curfew would be imposed at the request of Superintendent Snelling or District Commander, according to the proposal. Now, many have said that the proposal is highly susceptible to abuse and unequal enforcement. Many are concerned that the proposal would subject Black and brown teenagers to the same historical over-policing that violates equal protection rights as harmful and unjust, according to the National Lawyers Guild. Now, a coalition of 20 groups led by the American Civil Liberties Union of Illinois also urged the City Council to reject the proposal in a letter sent last week that called curfews tired and failed public safety strategies. Lastly, thousands of Uber riders could be in line for refunds after the ride-hailing company acknowledged that it improperly charged a $1.50 downtown congestion fee outside the hours it was supposed to be applied. The city's Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection has launched a sweeping investigation to determine how many Uber riders were overcharged, a move first disclosed by Block Club Chicago. The deal that resolved a Marathon City Hall budget stalemate last December called for expanding a weekend congestion fee to 7 days a week and lowering the fee from $1.75 to $1.50. The change was expected to raise $8.1 million annually. The fee is supposed to be imposed only on rides originating between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. Late night and early morning hours were exempt because the City Council did not want to do anything to discourage people who had been drinking from taking an Uber or Lyft home. But that's not what happened. In a yet-to-be-determined number of cases, the $1.50 congestion fee was applied outside those hours. Uber has admitted the overcharges while insisting that the company did not pocket any of the money. Now, Downtown Alderman Brian Hopkins has said the city's business affairs department has ordered Uber to audit all of its rides since the revised congestion fee took effect and issue refunds to all affected passengers, regardless of whether they apply for a refund or file a complaint.